Yo, this is on. What's up, Light Thompson says LTS is back with another video in like usual format, usually taking forever. So a lot of things that be going on is like definitely like my mental health. Um let's start with I don't know about you guys, man. 35 now. Um Finding myself lost sometimes. A lot of trauma happened in my life. I've been trying to push through it. With finances, kids growing. You know, I was together uh with my ex-wife for a while, and then after splitting that with the families, that I took a while to adjust. Dating. Now I'm in another relationship. It's going well. Trying to, you know, make that, get that stronger. The wonder, the scariness of not knowing what's coming next. The ups and downs, man, it's crazy. What I want to start with is um it's different, like I think about, like, especially from my 20s to my 30s. I kind of It's like two different worlds. Like, I went in my 30s, I was married for maybe one of those. The rest of my relationship was mostly in my 20s. And um before that, I had to, like, when I got out of that, I had to learn how to, do pretty much just do as one. And it wasn't the easiest. At the same time, trying to teach my boys, lead them into how a man should act and everything. And I'm telling you, man, it's a challenge. It was a challenge, but I did it. Down to, like, happen to find certain jobs that work with hours, down to not having like any money, to my account being negative, to just like wanting to give up a couple times. I'm originally from Indiana, moved up to Michigan for football. Then I had met my ex-wife at that time, and everything worked with that. So of course I stayed in Michigan. But after that was over, it's like, man, I not only did I either want to go home, I just didn't want to be in Michigan too much anymore, because I felt like it was more for me out there. But anybody know, especially if you have your kids or you stay in your kids' life, you can't just make choices for yourself. So I was torn between that, and a lot of that mindset goes back into when I was a kid. My father wasn't in my life like that. So it really used to. I never wanted my kids to feel how I felt. I never wanted them to feel the hopelessness, and just, you know pretty much feeling like, nobody had their back. And I don't know, just a lot of questions. um Obviously, from my well, not obviously, but if you watch my videos years ago, you'll notice I have a white son too, from the marriage. But I continue to keep being his life, because his father wasn't there for him. So that was another obligation. I was like, I don't want to really, like, leave him behind. I remember, when my mom was going through transitions and stuff, and was like trying to, just find somebody she was happy with, and I would get close to a couple of them, and then they'll be gone. So that, that's hard. And a lot of this just ties in with all that. Like, dating was like, got to be a good fit for my kids, and I don't want to keep dating these women and my kids get close too, so I got to keep my kids at bay. It was just a lot of growing up at 30, 31 to 32. It was a lot of growing up. And eventually, after trying to navigate that, I started getting my life back on track. I was like, okay, I went through some situations where I felt like, anybody know, when you go through a hard breakup, it's like your whole world is just rocking. You don't want to eat, you want to sleep. I lost a lot of weight. Also, working out and everything, I've lost weight tremendously fast, because I don't know what you can put in a bottle of hurt, but if I could put that in there for the version of losing weight, it's not even close. It's like you're fasting. You're basically just maybe eating one meal. If anything, if you're really going through it, you might use substance. You might drink. you know, all these things, you know, that can happen during that time because the hurt is unbearable. So after that, after the, getting there, I would talk to my mom. My mom would be a very great inspiration to me during that time and coach me up. And I had a couple friends that would kind of like, I'd be like, stay on me. After I started getting out of there, I started learning. I didn't never have anxiety before. I'm pretty much happy kid, you know, usually smiling, joking, having fun. You know, just meeting good people and just usually with my core friends. But after that, as I looked, a lot of years had passed. Family that grew up, little cousins was big, brothers and sisters and them growing up. So a lot of relationships I wasn't really like keeping strong as I think. And this is another tip. Just pause. Make sure you keep those relationships because I'm just saying, like, not and it's difficult because if you, especially like me, if you get married or like a strong relationship, you're gonna mostly give a lot of time to your woman and nourish that your family and all that. But you got to kind of still, and that's I feel like mistakes I made. I wasn't like keeping some of those relationships as tight as I think I should. Especially with my mom, and I'll get into that later why that really sucked and hurts that was happening. But with that being said, when I came out of that and I was like getting into my journey of 30s, it's like now I don't have my partner that I used to have. My kids ain't with me all the time, and they my glue, and it's like my whole world is it's just rocking. Like I like don't know, like I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. So a couple of my boys and stuff, they kind of like, whatever, this gonna blow by. But at the time, I'm like really needing them and stuff. And at the end of the day, guys, it still starts with you. But having that core, because as man, especially as man, like we don't like to get too emotional and we try to act too masculine sometimes. Now, don't get wrong, I get into the reason why you should keep a lot of your masculine and stay tough, but it's not always easy. Anybody know that they, had their heart broken or something like that. You going to some heart, you just, it doesn't matter. Nobody say you try the hard. It'll take the hardest man down. So I don't even want to hear that. And most likely, if you talking all that, you probably didn't love the woman anyways. So yeah, that's another subject. But as that's going on, man, I don't really have my core friends. Luckily, my mom, who's always been there for me all the time, and what I was gonna segue into is like pretty much. Oh, let me turn my phone to this thing going on. Pretty much going into the part where the breakup, my mom comes in and I'm talking to her every night. She's giving me to her guys. I was like really mentally going. It was dark. I mean, dark. I don't. I'm able to talk about this now. A lot of this, I mean, not that's not the focal point. A lot of things that like when, so I'm like, if you hurt yourself and you some other pain come and you forget about the one injury or something like that. It's just like the next thing that would come to me with the relationship, it was nothing. But as I said, I'm in a dark place mentally and talking to my mom and getting outside the house. And this is just my advice to get out when you're going through. I don't care if it's about money or breakup. Do your best to get the moving because I understand you want to lay down and you don't want to move. You just want to sit there and lay in it and just I don't even want to describe that you just hope it go away. I will say that you of course you want it to go away, but you just in the abyss. You just it's just a puddle of pain and stuff. So after doing that and mentally getting tough, because I'm used to going and physically getting ready for something. Big sports heads use all my sport tools, and I believe the sport mindset, the team mindset, the individual mindset, the me versus the you versus you type of mindset. It works universally. So I started using that. with Long talking to moms and everything, and a couple of my friends and stuff. And before I knew it, I started dating and stuff.